They seemed like Hollywood's golden couple. Nicole Kidman, the Oscar-winning actress, and Keith Urban, the country music superstar. Nearly 2 decades of marriage, 2 daughters, countless red carpet displays of affection. To the outside world, they looked unbreakable. But now, it's over. 19 years of marriage, gone. Before we dig into the shocking details of their split, make sure you hit subscribe right now. This channel is where you'll find the truth behind the headlines, the feuds, the breakups, the scandals. And trust me, what I've uncovered in this story will leave you stunned. So, where did it all go wrong for Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban? For years, Nicole and Keith were Hollywood's poster couple. Fans watched them embrace at the Oscars, kiss on the Met Gala red carpet, gush over each other in interviews. They weren't just in love, they were selling the idea of perfect love. But behind the cameras, cracks were forming. If you knew where to look, the signs were there. Long periods spent apart, whispered tension about careers, and subtle hints in interviews that nothing is ever perfect. And it turns out Nicole herself said it best just last year while promoting her Netflix drama The Perfect Couple. She told reporters, "There's no perfect anything. Anything that's presented as perfect, forget it." At the time, most people brushed it off as a casual remark. Now, it feels like a warning. Let's start with the most recent bombshell. Nicole Kidman has been living in London, renting a £65,000 a month mansion once owned by Boy George, while filming the long-awaited sequel to Practical Magic. Keith? He's been based in Nashville, focusing on his music career and his High and Alive world tour. For months, they barely saw each other. Insiders now say they were living apart since early summer, effectively separated long before the news broke. Nicole was blindsided when Keith made it official. He had already moved into a new Nashville pad before she even realized the marriage was done. Even worse, Nicole has been left to hold down the family home and take care of their 2 teenage daughters, Sunday Rose, 17, and Faith Margaret, 14. Friends say she's been holding the family together, while Keith carried on with his career. Keith Urban is said to have been the one to finally pull the plug. According to reports, Nicole was shocked, but Keith was firm. He wasn't happy. For him, the marriage had become going through the motions. A source claimed, if this separation gets them back together, that would be amazing, but Keith had to call her out. He just wasn't happy anymore. For Nicole, who believed they'd weathered so much already, this was a devastating blow. To understand how they got here, we need to look back. Nicole and Keith met in 2005 at an event celebrating Australians who made it big in America. Nicole thought he wasn't interested. It actually took Keith 4 months to call her. But once they connected, it was instant chemistry. By 2006, they were married in a romantic Sydney ceremony. But just 4 months into the marriage, the honeymoon phase was shattered. Keith's battle with alcoholism reached breaking point. Nicole staged an intervention and Keith entered rehab. He later admitted that was his fork in the road, the moment that saved his life. Nicole stood by him. Together, they built a new life, welcoming Sunday in 2008 and Faith in 2010. Fans saw them as stronger than ever, a couple who had conquered their demons. But behind closed doors, those demons never truly left. Fast forward to the past few years, and the cracks were widening again. Nicole's career has been relentless. From Big Little Lies to The Undoing, 9 Perfect Strangers, Expats, Lioness, and The Perfect Couple, she's worked non-stop. Add the grief of losing her mother in September 2024, and Nicole was carrying a lot. Keith, meanwhile, was constantly touring. The pair made an effort to talk every day, but insiders say it wasn't enough. It's shocking how much time they spent apart since Nicole's mother died, one source claimed. It's like they went their separate ways. Fans noticed too. At Wimbledon, the Oscars, and even casual interviews, there was a tension. The sparkle seemed to be fading. And then came the bizarre moment when Keith hung up on a radio interview after being asked about Nicole's scenes. At the time, it seemed protective. Now, it looks like a sign of strain. We can't talk about Nicole Kidman without mentioning Tom Cruise. They met on Days of Thunder in 1990. She was 23. He was 28. She fell madly, passionately in love. They married that same year and adopted 2 children, Bella and Connor. But in 2001, it collapsed. Tom filed for divorce after 11 years, citing irreconcilable differences. That marriage shaped Nicole forever. She once said, "I was so young. I had 2 kids by 27. Looking back now, I think, what?" And here's the haunting detail. Nicole hasn't been seen publicly with Bella or Connor in over 17 years. They chose Scientology. She lost them to it. That heartbreak never went away. So when she met Keith, she thought she'd finally found her true partner. Someone who wasn't Hollywood. Someone who understood pain. For years, it worked. But now, history repeats itself. Another marriage in ruins, and Nicole once again left blindsided. So where does this leave them now? Nicole, 58, is focusing on her daughters and her career, with her new Netflix projects and the Practical Magic sequel keeping her busy. But friends say she's devastated. She didn't see it coming. Keith, 57, is in Nashville, starting fresh, enjoying freedom on his own terms. For him, the decision has been liberating. And here's the real shocker. Insiders suggest reconciliation is unlikely. Nicole might still hope, but Keith seems done. For Hollywood watchers, this breakup cuts deep. Nicole and Keith were the proof that love could survive the spotlight. They weren't supposed to fail, but maybe Nicole was right. There's no perfect anything. Not even the love story that looked perfect from the outside. So what do you think? Was it the distance, the grief, the career clash, or something deeper we'll never know? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget, hit subscribe right now, because this story is only the beginning. With both Nicole and Keith moving on, the next chapter is guaranteed to be explosive, and I'll be here to bring you every detail.